There are a lot of booking plugins around. Let me show you a comparison table. Plus we can also download it over here, the free version. Go to wp.discount/BookingPress, and it's a free plugin, but if you decide to buy it, I get a small commission. So thank you very much. And then we are at the website of BookingPress. Here we can see the table, which compares BookingPress with Bookly, WP Amalia, and Booknetic. As we can see, the prices are basically the same, but the difference lies in the details, where we actually need all kind of add-ons to achieve the same with the other plugins. So let's go to the automated notifications. We have email, WhatsApp, and SMS. But if you want to have the same functionalities with the other plugins, we have to pay extra. Invoices, no additional add-ons required. You can calculate taxes, also no additional plugins required. And we have also the country location-wise tax, which is very useful if you are in the United States of America. Last but not least, we also have different kind of payment methods that are automatically integrated in this plugin. With all the other plugins, you need to pay for them. So reason enough to go with BookingPress. I'm first going to show you the free version, and then I'm going to upgrade to the pro version. Let's click on buy now. And you will also see that BookingPress is the award-winning appointment booking plugin for 3 consecutive years. Well done, guys. I'm proud of you. If we then scroll down, we also have the free plan. Now let's start with the free plan. Here we go, press on free download. Once we have downloaded, then let's install it. Log into your WordPress website. If you're still logging in using WP admin,
Nope.
that's another very safe way to follow this tutorial to make sure you never get hacked. What I want to create on my Elementor Pro WooCommerce build on YouTube, which you can follow. I want to have a personal shopping service, so people can go there and they can book all kind of different appointments with my shopping experts, and they can help them shop. So let's build this. The first thing we do is we go to plugins, add new plugin. Then we press on upload plugin and select the file we have just downloaded from BookingPress. Press install now. And then we want to activate this plugin. Then we see on the left side, we see this beautiful BookingPress menu. Click on it. Welcome to the BookingPress setup wizard. Let's start with filling in all our information over here. So fill in your company name and the address of your company. But then we're going to talk about the time format. We have to specify this, what's most logical for your target audience. In my case, I'm going with the 12-hour format because this shop is located at the WordPress Boulevard 77. Make sure to fill in your current website over here, and then we had to add in our company logo. Now the strange thing is, when I click on it, we go to our file upload from our computer. So we can't select something from the media library. Well, okay, we're just going with the flow. Select our logo, and if you don't want to send anonymous statistics to BookingPress, just uncheck this and press on next. I'm going to change the default working hours from 10 to 11 because we work really hard. Once we have filled it all in, make sure to select the right currency, and then we press on next. Then we can fill in all our services over here, and we can also add them later. So for now, I'm just going to add in one, and later during this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can change them or add even more to them. So my service name is the one-on-one styling session. The price will be $75 and the duration is 60 minutes. And also fill in a description, and the rest we will be adding later on. Then we press over here on next. Then we're going to need some basic styling to match our website. Then I'm going to use the font Railway because this is the one we have used throughout the entire website for all our texts. Not our titles, only our text. But we can change this later on even more. And then we have to change the color options. I'm a bit disappointed that it just didn't get our colors from our Elementor global colors. But hey, you can't have everything, right? So we're just going to put in our colors. So their primary color is actually the accent color. So I'm going to fill it in over here. And then the title, subtitle, and content will all be the same color we have been using throughout this entire website. And that is our primary and text color. So I'm just going to copy it and I'm going to put it in everywhere. Great. Then we scroll down and we press on finish. Congratulations, everything is ready. Well, I don't think everything is ready, but the plugin have created 2 different kind of pages and also shortcodes to be used on our website. Now the shortcodes are really useful, so I'm going to show you how to implement this on any page on your website in just a second. First, we scroll down and we press over here on Close. Now, this is the dashboard of BookingPress inside of your WordPress website. The first thing I'm going to show you is how we can add in services. Then I'm going to make a lot of fake appointments, and then I'm going to show you all these things in here so you really get the feeling about how this system works and if you can use it inside of your business. So let's first go to services in there. Here we can only see the service that we created. It's just one. If you have a lot of services that clients can book on your website with your business, then it might be useful to create different kind of categories. It makes it way more easier and cleaner for your visitors to select the right service. So we press over here on Manage Categories. Then I'm going to add in a few categories. So we press on Add New. And the first category is Personal Styling and Wardrobe Curation. I press Save. I'm going to add another one. Event and occasion shopping, press Save. The next one is the trend and seasonal updates. And of course, the Express Luxury Shopping Service. Once you've added in all your categories, you can also drag them around to change the order, and you can edit them to change the name. Then we press on Close. Now I'm going to add in all my services to fit in the different categories. This one-on-one styling, I'm just going to edit it to change the category to my personal styling and wardrobe curation over there. Then we can also upload pictures. Those pictures are pretty important because when people are going to book your services, they will see all those images. So for this service, I just click over here. I'm just going to select the file and upload it to BookingPress. Everything is great, so we press over here on Save. There we are. Now I have added in 20 services in 4 categories. So this should look really nice on our website. Before we're going to place it on our website, I'm first going to walk you through these settings, and then I'm going to show you how to place it on your website, and then I will be showing you the calendar and the appointments all in the free version. And after that, we will be upgrading to the pro version because there are a lot more things to talk about. Let's first go to notifications over there. When someone books an appointment, notifications will be sent out to your customer or to the admin of this website. All the notifications have the same layout. We can change the email subject, the email message, and we can insert email placeholders. That's actually all there is. So it's really easy. So let me explain you what happens upon appointment approval. Someone will get an email with the subject is appointment approved. And then over here, we see the email message. If you click on the visual over here, you will see that it looks a little bit nicer. Dear customer first name, customer's last name, those things are being dynamically filled by the email placeholders. On the right side, you can see all the placeholders available for us to add inside of the emails or the email subject. So we can see the services, the customer information, all these things. Very useful to create personalized emails. And then the email message itself. Dear customer, first name, customer, last name. You have successfully scheduled appointment. Thank you for choosing us. Company name. We have to style this definitely a little bit more. Now, just remember, please add this in the email message to add a new line because enters will not be seen as a new break. This editor could be improved, I think, for the emails because why use HTML if you can just go in the visual editor? Then you still need to add entering breaks, or what is this? You know, it's just a little bit confusing. Then I want below this, I want to have a line break. So I'm going to remove this one and put 2 of them over there. So dear first name, last name, white line, you have successfully scheduled an appointment. Well, let's say thank you for scheduling. We have approved the booking. Here are your details. So we want service name, and then a dash and service duration. Then I don't want to talk about money anymore because I've already paid. Then I want to add in a new line, so double break. Then the appointment date and dash appointment time. Then another break, and if you want to cancel your booking, you can use this link. And again, a break And then we're going to add in the customer cancel appointment link. This is very nice. Then I want to have a white line over here. Thank you for choosing us. Then our company name. Over here, I want to have the company phone, then the company address, and also the company website. Beautiful. Okay, this looks pretty nice. Once you have created this, we press on save. Then we go over here to admin. It will send out this message to our administrator. You have one confirmed appointment. This appointment is added to your schedule. Thank you, company name. I think we can do better than that. Just select everything over here and paste it in over there. And we're just going to change, dear colleague, a client has scheduled an appointment. We have approved the booking. Here are their details. And then maybe we don't want to add in these links because some colleagues might press on that button. And then we're just going to remove also this one. Then just remove all this, and that is great. Just simple like this. Dear colleague, client schedules improvement. We have approved the booking. Here are the details. Great. Press save. All right, then we have also the pending modus. If we click on this one, well, this actually sounds really great. You can, of course, style it and change it the way we did on the approval. Then I think the admin message is more important because then you know, hey, I need to approve it manually. So appointment pending, let's change the subject to new appointment pending. And then we have, hi, colleague, you have a new appointment in service name. This appointment is waiting for confirmation. Then it reminds me about the subject line on the approval. The email subject is appointment approved. It's just a little bit not marketing savvy. So what I actually want to show in here is your appointment. And then we're going to do this. Service name has been approved. There we are. This looks way better. Then we press save again. Then let's also change this for the on pending. The appointment is pending. Well, your appointment is pending. Let's save that one. Then we also have another very important one, that is rejection and cancellation. Well, of course, you can make your own notification right now. Make sure to change the email subject and also the text. So that's pretty nice for your customers to see and receive those mails. In my opinion, they really could improve the email message builder over here. This looks like 1998 with pure HTML. It's not necessary anymore, BookingPress, so let's change that. Then we go over to the next one, customize. If you hover over it, it will drop down and you can select forms or field settings. Let's first go to forms. And then we can customize two forms, the booking form, and over here is the customer panel. This looks really nice. Let's start with the booking form. This is the form that will actually be loaded on the front end of your website when we put in the shortcode in just a minute. When we scroll down, we can change everything we want inside of this form, which is pretty nice. The font, for example, if we change it to Poppins, this is what will happen. Pretty nice. We can change all the colors over there, and we can also add in some custom CSS. Pretty great. Now the price and button text is very important because when you scroll down, you can see the button is this one over there. Then we have the booking wizard tab's position on the left or on the top. Let's keep it on the left. Then when we scroll down, we can also hide service selection stat. I don't think that's very useful because we want to have different kind of services. Then we can select all as default category because over here we have the different kind of categories. As you can see, you also have the all category as default. Let me select that one because then when they start here instead of here and they start like, where are my services? Well, you have to click manually on all. That's not logical. So select all as default category. Then we have the hide service description. Well, I want to disable it because I want people to read our very small description. Then they can also hide the booked time slots. For example, if you're just alone working all these appointments, then you should do this because when slots are booked, you cannot book another thing inside of it. But if you have multiple employees, you want to disable this one. However, if you want to have more employees inside of this system connected with their calendars, and also you can book specific people inside of your store, then we should upgrade to the pro version because it's not included inside of this free version. But for a free version, I think they do have a lot of things. So that's pretty nice. Then we can also change the booking redirection options. Upon success, go to the thank you page. Upon failure, go to cancel payment. Then over here we have, of course, the example of our form. And then we should scroll to the right side. Then we can change all the common field labels. Go back, the next one, book the appointment, the minutes, the hours. All these labels can be changed over there, which is pretty straightforward. For this free plugin, I'm impressed by these options. Great. Once we have customized all this, we scroll all the way up and we go to the customer panel, because in here, then we can select the confirmation on cancellation. Of course, this is all good. Then we have delete account content. I actually don't know what this is. It's an SVG file. Why is this inside here? This really got me puzzled. I mean, what is this? And why is it in here? You can change the delete account content in here. Why just not create a new tab or a new option in your settings page? Delete account. This is weird. Just some HTML code with SVG factors inside of it. No, I don't understand it. All right, if you log into your screen, this is what you see as a customer. You can see the bookings over here. You can select the date ranges, the appointments, all these things. Then we have on the right side, we can of course change again all the label settings. Pretty nice. I like this one. And you can also do it for this screen. Pretty straightforward. Very great. Let's press Save Changes. And then we go over here to our settings. Here we have a lot of settings. I'm going to walk you through them one by one so you know what's possible and you don't miss a thing. We have the default service duration. That's very useful when you're creating new services. I already did that. Then we have the default time slot steps. Useful if you're creating a lot of services. We've already did that. So I'm just going to keep it on 30 minutes. Then we can show the time as per service duration. Logical. Then we can have the time slot grouping settings, which is nice if someone is booking an appointment. In just a second, I'm going to show you. You can define when the afternoon, evening, and night starts. So when night starts at 8, it will be shown like this. And the evening starts at 4, and then the afternoon starts at 12. So what about the mornings? It's not in here, but okay, it might just start with day, and then we have the afternoon. The evening starts in our country at 6, and then the night, let's put it on 9. Because that's in my country the default, but maybe yours is different. Then we have the default appointment status is approved. So here we can change it from approved to pending, because you might want to approve them manually because you have to check certain things, or well, you can just put them on pending or approved. Appointment status with one on-site payment method. You can change this one also to approved or pending. Then we have the country, default items per page. All these things we've already talked about. Then we have a very important one, share time slots between all services. If you enable this one, it will not be possible for customers to book different kind of services at the same time. This is very useful if you are just alone in your shop. Then you cannot handle multiple services at the same time, so make sure to enable this one. Then you don't want to load JavaScript and CSS in all pages, only on the booking pages, or else your website will slow down. Help us improve it? No, I don't want it. Enable debug mode. Well, let's just disable this because I don't want to debug it. So I don't know why it's standard on. Just turn it off. Then we can create a WordPress user upon appointment booking. This can be useful because it will create over here on users, it will create new users in your website. The downside of this is that your entire WordPress user system will get flooded by new people. Plus, they're also being created here as customers. Let me show you. Here you can see all the customers I've been creating to create the appointments in my calendar and my appointments tab. So there's actually no need to also put them inside of the WordPress users. So I would actually don't do this. And if this system works great, why also add them to your WordPress website as a user? So I would just say, just keep it off. Then we scroll up and we go to the company settings. Your logo, all these things we've already talked about. Excellent. Then we go to the next one, notification, and especially how you want to deliver those emails. Do you want to send them out by WordPress default, PHP mail, SMTP, or Google Gmail? Well, if you're using an SMTP plugin, keep it like this, just WordPress default. If you also never encounter problems with sending out emails from your WordPress website, also then keep it on the WordPress default. But you can also, of course, change this a little bit because the sender name, this is just my URL, the name of my website. Maybe you want to change this to bookings and then the name of your brand. In my case, bookings@white-diamond. And then the sender email should definitely be the domain that you're sending from. In my case, it should be support, or maybe you'd have a dedicated email address for all these things. So booking@elementortutorial.website, which is the URL of this specific site. And then the admin email, I think it should be the same, because all the notifications will also be sent to this email address. So that makes it easy for you to just check one email inbox for bookings, and then you can see all the booking information right in there, notifications, but also from your customers. So yeah, just keep it the same. Here you can test out your email notification to see if the emails work. Now, then we press save and we go over here to working hours. We already put this in, but maybe you also want to have breaks so that people cannot book any service between, let's say, from 12 to 12:30, like this. And then we have a break from 12 to 12:30. What would be nice right now is that I can just copy and paste it from this one. I know I'm a bit lazy, but you know, why not automate all these things? Just press over here, add break, copy from Monday. Just these little things could improve this plugin a lot. Then we go over here to the holidays. Very important, when are you closed? What I was expecting here was when you add in a country, it should be pre-filled with some holidays that never change. They're every day the same, and most shops are closed on these holidays. So also something they could easily improve. Let's go to payments. Now we can set up the payments for our services. Of course, select your currency, then the symbol position, before value like this, separated with space, after or after with a space. Well, let's do it like this one. Then we have the currency separator. Just choose the one that your audience uses. Then we have the number of decimals, and then we can change the payment settings. That's very nice. On site means when you are at the shop, they will pay then at start. But what I also want, I want them to use PayPal, or maybe only PayPal, and just ditch the on-site. When you enable the PayPal settings, you need to set it up. Sandbox means you can test it out on your website. This is developer language, I know. Just put it on live. Then the payment method should be pop-up, because that is what PayPal actually advises you to use on your website. Then you need to enter in your client ID and your client secret. Where to get those? Log into PayPal, go to your business account, and there you can find your client ID and client secret. Put them in over there, and then you can use PayPal as a payment method on your website. However, I don't advise you to use PayPal because they charge a lot of money. It's just insane. But if you want to use other payments methods than PayPal and on-site, then we have to buy the Pro version, and we have Stripe, Mali, Square. We also have Klarna, Pedal. Well, all these things that you actually want to have, it's all inside of that one. And if you want to connect it with your Google Calendar and WooCommerce, again, we're going to need the Pro version. Then we go over here to messages. These are actually the error messages that people will see when interacting with the form, and they don't have selected anything for the booking. You can just change all these texts over here to translate it, or to just make it something else. Then we go over here to the debug log. Here you can see everything that's going wrong within the plugin if you have enabled the debug settings. I have disabled it because I think it should work out of the box. But if you encounter problems, you can always enable it. Go here and check out the debug logs to tell the developers about it. And then finally, we can import and export all the data from this tool, so you can easily duplicate all your settings, your customers, your appointments, your services, your notifications for maybe another website. I don't know. And then last but not least, we're going to the import and export settings. Here we can export all the data from this specific tool, like the appointments, the services, or your customers, or all the settings we have changed. And then we can import it on some other website maybe. Can be useful. All right, it's time to put this form on our website. Let's go over here to Pages, All Pages. The plugin has already created a lot of pages for us. Appointment cancelled, cancellation confirmation, book an appointment, cancel payment, and over here, my bookings. If you just open one of these, for example, book an appointment, you press on edit, then we can see that they have just used a shortcode inside of this page. But we are not going to use a shortcode because we have Elementor. So we go back to all our pages. And then we scroll down and I go to my personal shopping service page, which I've created with Elementor. Then over here, we're going to search for the widget called Booking Forms. Just drag and drop it over there. Basically, this is also just a shortcode, but you can also configure it. If you just leave it like this and I press publish, then we can see all our services. But maybe you want to create different kind of pages with individual services. Then you can click over here and you can just select the services you only want to show on this specific page. So that's pretty nice. So let's see this form in action. I go over here to Contacts and I go to my personal shopping service. Let's go there. Then I just have to wait a couple of seconds and then it has been loaded into my website. Now this looks actually pretty neat. You can see all these categories that we've created and then you can see all my 20 services that I've been adding in to the plugin. That's pretty neat. So let's go with the maternity and post-pregnancy styling because I feel a little bit pregnant today. And then we need to select a time. So let's go with Saturday, the morning. I told you it was morning. It's just in there. Then we have the afternoon and then the evening, which starts at 5 to 6. Let's select the night, 8:30 to 9:40. Then we have the basic details. Awesome. You can also enter in a note. And then we have the summary. This looks pretty nice. Maternity, post-pregnancy styling, total amount $105. Book the appointment. Why not? Let's go. And then we are at the thank you page. Your appointment has been booked successfully. This looks great, but then we can see leave a reply. Oh wait, this is a different page. We have been redirected to this one, /thank you, and then we have the appointment ID. So if you want to change this thank you page, then you have to go to your pages and go to your thank you page, click on edit, and then we can see all these shortcodes. If you want to put all this information and style it inside of your, for example, Elementor, we're just going to cut all of this and then we press on edit with Elementor. And then over here, we can style this entire page just the way we want it. For example, with the text editor, drag and drop it and put in everything inside of here. Then we press on publish. And then let me show you where all those bookings come in the plugin. We go to BookingPress to the dashboard. Inside of the dashboard, you can see the standard date has been selected. Let's just change this from 1 March to 30th of April. And we can see we have 9 appointments, 4 approved, 3 pending, and we have already made $1,300. Yeah, from 8 customers. If we scroll down, we are at the upcoming appointments. You can click on it. You can also sort them by date, by the customer, by the service. Pretty nice. Let's sort them by the date. Sue is the first one. She will pay $90. Those are all the information. Payment method manual, and it's been approved. Well, what if I want to cancel this one? I just click over here and I press on cancel. There we go. Cancel. Just like that. Goodbye, Sue. No vacation and travel wardrobe planning for you. Then if you have people like me who want the maternity and post-pregnancy styling, we can just press on it and place the status to approved. Now it has been approved. Very nice. I like this. If you go to appointments over here, let me change this. We have to press apply. It's exactly the same, I see. But you can also sort it now by customer name, services. We can sort them for this one. Press apply and then you can only see the bookings with this service. That's pretty neat. Also the pending, press apply. And then we can see I have to connect with a colleague to see if I can approve this one. Well, these appointments are pretty clear. The only question I want to have an answer to is how do I make sure that everybody is paying for their services? Well, they also thought about that. You can go over here to payments. Then we can see the booking date of, well, they're all today, of course, but then we can change this one to the appointment on. So the first one is on March 28 and we can see the status is not being paid because it's pending, because it's been manual. So all these things should be changed to pending. And this setting you can change at the general settings. Scroll down. Appointment status paid with on-site payment method is pending. So all the appointments made after when I change these settings will be automatically put on pending. And then when someone comes and they pay, I have to log in or at the end of the day and I put them all on paid, for example. That's pretty awesome. Well, last but not least, we can go to customers and here you can see all the customers that we have created or that have created their own accounts within the plugin. For a free plugin, this is actually really nice and useful on your website. But if you have more employees and you want to connect an employee to a specific service, then we're going to upgrade to the Pro version. And also I want to integrate it with my Google Calendar so I can see all my appointments in my mobile device. So if you want to help me out, follow my affiliate link via wp.discount/BookingPress. And then we press enter. This link is also in the comment section and in the description of this video. Then let me tell you everything about these selling plans. Of course, the biggest difference between the plans is on how many websites you can use it. 1, 3 or 20 websites. Also, what we have in the standard plan is the 20 plus payment gateways. Now, this is very important so people can actually buy immediately your service directly from this plugin with all these payment gateways. Excellent. But we also get 45 add-ons included, and with the professional plan you get 50 plus, but we get also these things: location add-on, happy hours, recurring appointments, service package, advanced discount and a gift card, but also in the enterprise version the POS add-on for Stripe. That's useful if you also have a physical location and people come in there and book things and they are selling out and all these kind of things. So that is more the enterprise solution. For this tutorial, I'm going with the standard plan. So we scroll all the way down and we press on Buy Now. Then we can choose to pay with credit card or with PayPal. Make sure to fill out all your information in here, the billing address, and then we just press on this PayPal button, or in case of credit card, pay with your credit card. In my account, you can download the standard edition we have just bought. So click on this download button and then we go over here to manage licenses. Now you've also received an email with inside of that your license key. So you can use also that. In our case, I'm just going to copy this license key and leave this tab open because we will be returning for all the add-ons. Then back to our WordPress website, we're going to add a new plugin. Press on Upload Plugin. Then we're going to select the file we've just downloaded and then we press over here on Install Now. Great, let's activate it. Then we go to BookingPress and we go over here to License. Then we're going to select the package, the standard, and then we just paste in the license key we have copied and press Activate License. All right, now we have activated the full power of BookingPress plugin. Now to utilize this and to add in way more options than what it was, we need to go to add-ons over there, click on it, and now we have access to a bunch of new things. For example, staff members. Let's activate it. If you want to have your clients to select a specific service with a specific staff member, this is the way to do it. We can also enable extras for our services. Let's activate it also. Coupon management, I think that's pretty straightforward. And then we also have deposit payments, allow partial payments. That's something very important because I want to have people to pay partially for really expensive services. And then you can also allow customers to book an appointment for more than one person. This is really excellent. And then we have even more add-ons if we scroll down, but these we have to download separately from BookingPress website because those are separate plugins. For example, the tax add-on. Well, this might be very useful and also an invoice to send to our customers. So we press on this Get button. Then we are being redirected to our BookingPress account. Click over here on View Your Downloads. Then we can see over here all the extra add-ons we can download for our website. If you press on Download Now, you will download an extra plugin. Now, this is logical as they have a bunch of plugins, 45 extra add-ons to make your life easier. The problem actually I have with this is that there is no way to search through this 45 add-ons. You just have to scroll down and press over here on Next. But first, let's download the conversion tracking add-on. Really important. There we go. Then we click over here on number 2 and we go to the next page. So you have to wait a while until the next page is being loaded and then you can download them separately. This is something they could be improving. I also would like the WhatsApp notification add-on. And then maybe a Google reCAPTCHA integration is also something smart. And if you get some spam in your booking appointments, make sure to download the Google reCAPTCHA integration. You can also integrate it with MailChimp for your emails, but also with Zoom. Now, this is important if you are doing like coaching and it's all via video meetings. So this could be really useful. Then we scroll down, we can Outlook calendar integration, but we can also integrate it with Google. I like this, so I'm going to download it. And then we are here at the tax add-on and invoice. I also want to demonstrate that because these are just basic things that are very important for everyone who's working with clients. You have to use a tax add-on and invoice because simply you just owe tax to the government no matter where you live. We also have different kind of payment methods. That's really awesome. And then the last page, you can also use Molly Payment Gateway and all the others and Stripe. Now these are all the 45 add-ons you get within the standard plan. Let's install them and I will demonstrate you how they work. We go over here to plugins, add new plugin, and we're going to add in all the plugins one by one. First the invoice, install it, activate it. Activate it also. Activate this one also. Activate the WhatsApp plugin. Let's go. All right, then I've installed all these add-ons. Now when I go to BookingPress, I can also see that we have staff members. Let's first add in some staff members. Now this is really amazing. Now I really like this pro feature. Let's add in some staff members. To do that, we just press on add new over here. We can just add in a user, but it has to be a WordPress user. So I'm just going to create a new one. I'm going to put in her first name, last name, email, and create a strong password for your staff member to actually log in because they can see their own calendars. Then we scroll down because we need to assign services to this staff member. So we click over here on add new and we're going to assign the service that we want to have for this staff member. Well, I have 20 of them on 4 different categories. So I'm just going to select some random and then you can change the price or the standard price for this service. Let's keep it on standard and press save. I'm going to add in a bunch of them. There we go. If you're adding a lot of staff members and you have a lot of services, like I do in this example, it might be useful. You can just select the entire category in one go without going to them one by one. But maybe that's just the way they want to have it. Well, this could be improved in another version. But if you, for example, want to change the price because he brings so much years of experience to the table with the Express personal shopping, you can just change it manually and press save. And then on the booking process, I'm going to show you in just a second, you can actually choose which person you want to have with this service and then the price change accordingly. Once you've added in all these services, we scroll down. Then the new add-on we have added is the Google Calendar integration. Well, if you want to use this, you press on sign in with Google, but then it will say authorization blocked. Because before you can do this, you need to go to settings over here. Then we scroll down and we go to integrations. Scroll up again, and then we can see the Google Calendar. We need to enter in the client ID and the secret from Google. How to obtain it? Well, to get those, you need to go to the Google Cloud and follow this video by BookingPress plugin. It will show you step by step how to gain access to the client ID and a secret code so you can add it in and then it can make a connection with your Google Calendar. It's really useful. It's only going to cost you like 15 minutes. So once you've set it up, it will work and that's it. And then we press on save. I'm quickly going to add in 4 more staff members. Now I have added a bunch of staff members to my business. So we go over here to services and then we can change, for example, the one-on-one styling. Let's go with edit. And then when we open this up, we can see we have a lot more options. For example, the duration is 60 minutes, but now we have buffer time. Buffer time means 10 times preparation before and maybe 10 minutes time after your service appointment. So this one will be booked inside of your Google Calendar or your Outlook calendar, whatever you want. Then we also have the max capacity. So if you want to have 2 people maximum at the same time, you can change this one to 2 or 5 or 10 or whatever, but we're going to do it for 1. Then when you scroll down, you can also set a start and expiry date. Useful if this service is only temporarily a seasonal service, for example, or, well, you can just stop it anytime you want. Very useful. Then we can also configure the deposit options. Remember, I want to have a deposit amount. You can do a fixed amount or a percentage, something like 75% paid forward, or maybe why not just everything needs to be paid forward before we can use my service. That's all we can do. Then we can also upsell extra services. That's also a new feature. So we press on Add New and you can enter in more services. For example, a personal color test. This will take an extra 30 minutes. And the extra service price will be $50 for everybody. Max 1, minimum 1. And the description is, well, so this service is really going to add in some extra bucks and it's really useful for a lot of my clients. Press on Add. Now on this service, we have added the extra service. Amazing. Now people can book this extra service, but I want this to be optional, so put it on 0, and the maximum is 1 because I don't want them to book this twice. Then we scroll down and now we can add in staff members. So press on Add New and we're just going to assign Emma can do this. She can handle 1 at a time and the price will be $150 if you choose Emma. Save it. And I'm also going to add in Olivia. Well, she's very expensive. It's going to cost you $225 if you want to make use of her. Well, this is the way we can add in staff members and change the different pricings. Really useful. And then at the advanced options, then we can change the minimum time required before booking. You can inherit it from your general settings or use a specific one. So 1 week, 2 weeks, or maybe a month. And also with the minimum time required before rescheduling. Well, maybe this service takes me 6 days to set up, arrange the location, arrange all the things we're going to need. Then I'm going to need 6 days before rescheduling also. And then the minimum time before cancellation, maybe you also want to know it 5 days on front. So these options really make this plugin very useful in all different kind of situations. I'm really happy with this. Then we press over here on Save. And then we can see the overview. We see over here a 1 and we have 1 extra added to this service. So that's really great. Now remember, if you want to show all these services, you have to add staff to them, or else it will not be shown on the front end of your website. From my website, I go over here to my personal shopping service. And here we go. Let's just load it in. Really great. So over here, we have all these different kind of categories with all these different kind of services. Again, you cannot go to the next step. First, you need to select the right service. So let's just select this one, the price $75. Then we also have the extra service. You can use this. Wow, I want it. Let's press continue. Then we're going to select the staff member we want to use. Well, let's go with Emma. And then we select the date and the time. Today is the 7th of April and we have still some time slots left over there from 11:40 to 1:10. Let's do that one. I enter in my name. Then we press over here on next. And then we can see over here the summary. And then we need to activate the payment gateways so people can actually pay our appointment. To configure that, we go over here to settings. And then we go over here to payments. And we can see way more options than before. Now we also have tax settings. So the default tax in my country is 21% on all products and services right there. Then you can also enable country-wise tax. So if you are selling to different kind of countries, people coming from and do your service, not applicable in my situation, but it's possible. Then we can display our prices, excluding or including. In this case, I'm selling to customers and not business to business. So make sure to including tax. And then we have the including tax, including GST. Well, in my case, it is the VAT. Then we have the deposit payment settings. Allow customer to pay the deposit only or to pay the full amount. I would say full amount because I'm going to integrate Stripe or whatever. And then we can also allow a refund if you want that. I don't want that. You just lose all your money. And then we can use the payment method on site or with PayPal again, or with any other payment provider we've just installed via our add-ons. Then you need to connect it using the right APIs like this, the client ID, the client secret. And then you can use this also on your website. Beautiful. After you've set that up, we press on Save. Then we want to send invoices when they have booked an appointment. To do that, we go over here to Invoice. Click on it, and we scroll up. Then we can see a lot of code. Just press on Invoice Preview, and you can see how it will look. This will be your logo, of course, your name, address, website, phone. Then we have the number, the date, and the due date of the invoice. Then the billing address, so the customer address, your service, the date. Well, this actually looks pretty simple, but it will work. Let me see if I can tune and tweak it over here. You can change this, but it's pure HTML. That's something they really can improve. Just make it a simple drag and drop editor, or something more advanced, what you see is what you get editor maybe. But this is the way you can change your invoices and change it to anything you want within HTML. You can also use ChatGPT to just change this for you, but actually it's pretty easy if you understand some HTML. If you don't, just keep it like this and it looks really nice. Let me see if we can get some invoices to work from our payments. Let's go there. Because we have some appointments which are already paid. And maybe I can press over here to the invoice. Click on it. It's being loaded in a pop-up screen, and this is now my invoice. This logo could be improved, but as you can see, the basics is just in there, and this is really great. I don't see the tags because it's already been booked inside of the free version without the tags add-on, so it cannot be changed afterwards, which is logical because that's not the way administration works. So make sure before you go live to have this tags add-on enabled. If you go over here to the calendar, you can see all the appointments of all your staff members in one view, which is also really powerful. I can now see that in the month of April, we have different kind of customer names over there, and they have scheduled an appointment on different kind of days, like this. If you then click on it, you can see who booked it with who. And you can also see which staff member has which appointment, which can be very useful if they can log into your system and see for themselves the calendar options. You can also go over there and also see all the appointments in a list view that is coming your way. Now we've also installed the WhatsApp message function. So let's set that up also. Let's go to settings, and then we go over here to notifications. If we then scroll down, we see over here WhatsApp settings. Here we can enter in our WhatsApp gateway. So we're using Twilio, or I probably think your WhatsApp business. Then you can add in all this information, and then your WhatsApp business account will send out reminders, or in this case, notifications of the appointment of your clients. That's really powerful. And then you fill in this, your phone number ID, your business account ID, and your permanent access token from WhatsApp or from Twilio, all this information. And once you have done that, you go to select the number field, which you have been used when people are booking services on your website, and that is the phone number field. So then we save the settings, then we go over here to notifications, and then when we scroll down, we can also see some new options. Just enable the ICS file with email, and then they will receive an ICS file within the email booking reservation. They can click on it and add it to their Outlook calendar or app or program or whatever they're using on their computer. You can also use to send them a PDF with the invoice, and then we can also send the WhatsApp notification. Scroll down and add in the notification message. To use this one, we need to select a WhatsApp template. You can't see it right now because I didn't connect WhatsApp in the settings. But if you go to settings and you connect them with WhatsApp, you will have the ability to create WhatsApp templates. And then you can use them inside of the notifications to send out WhatsApp messages directly within WhatsApp. So that's a really nice feature. If you have any questions, just drop it down in the comments and I will be glad to reply. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more WordPress related videos. And you might also want to check out this video where I show you exactly how to create this beautiful e-commerce website in just 5.5 hours. A complete e-commerce tutorial for free for you. I hope you enjoy and I'll see you in the next video.